Good morning, or is it afternoon? No, it's still morning, everyone. Thank you for having me, Mrs. P from Learning for Life, come and do our last video of this quarter and of the year for Learning for Life. We appreciate Ms. Becker doing all this for us. We appreciate you opening up your classroom to do this last lesson. So, we all ready?
Yes.
I think you guys chose the self-awareness, so here we go.
Yes, we did.
Here's an overview. So we're going to explore individual strengths, learn about areas for improvement, and understand inner strength and improvements. Listen to this quick little video.
Hello boys and girls. In this character development module, we are going to focus on working through conflict, taking care of yourself and your health, setting goals, and becoming more self-confident, all through self-discipline. Anger is the emotion we show to others when we are feeling frustrated, hurt, or disappointed. How we handle our anger influences the effect it has on ourselves and on others. We will learn to better manage our anger in positive ways. Feelings like anger or hurt are sometimes hard to talk about. They get jumbled up inside of us. And not knowing how to talk about your feelings can be stressful too. Writing about our feelings sometimes helps us understand ourselves better. We can also learn steps to help us reduce our stress. Breathe, think, and do. These steps will help us if we practice them each time we feel stress beginning to build. Learning how to control our stress for our physical health and emotional well-being is a big part of growing up. As you get older, peer pressure can also increase. You might already face negative peer pressure to try drugs or alcohol. Today, we will learn about the risks you face so you make important choices that can help you stay healthy and not be persuaded to use drugs to keep friends. We will focus on drugs and their harmful effects and ways of resisting peer pressure. Resisting pressure from peers can be tough to do. It takes a lot of inner strength and self-discipline. Today, we are going to explore our individual strengths and our areas of improvement. We will create a plan of action and time frame for strengthening ourselves. When we do this, we feel good about ourselves and learn to set goals. By the end of this module, you will learn skills for avoiding peer pressure, learn the risks of drugs and alcohol, and better understand what makes you special. You will identify your talents and areas for improvement and then set goals. You will also have identified ways to better manage your anger and emotions in a positive manner.
That was a good video, so we're going to move on. Here are some of the vocabulary words: improvement and goal.
Improvement.
That's a change that makes something better than it is. That's what improvement means.
Improvement.
So, which of the following is not an example of an improvement? Your teacher noticed that your handwriting was easier to read. Do you think that is, what do you think, yes or no?
Yes.
You think so? What about your neighbors made several repairs to their house?
No.
Is that an improvement?
Yes. No.
After all their practice, the band began to sound really good.
No.
No. How about
Those are all yes.
listen?
Which one is not an improvement?
Exactly. Example. Your parents thought your haircut was an improvement to your looks. Which of the following is not an example? So what about the company changed the product, but it didn't work as well? That is not. Okay, so let's move on. You've got to read and listen to what the question is. Here's another vocabulary.
Goal.
Goal. A result, something to work for, something you will do. So here's an example. Her goal is to become an animal doctor, like a veterinarian. Which of these is a positive goal? Is not do any lawn care positive?
No.
No. Is work hard to get good grades?
Yes.
A positive goal? Awesome. Do less homework?
No.
What about take important tasks off the schedule?
No.
Correct. Good job, guys. So who would like to read activity 1 real quick? Go for it. Archie.
Everyone has both strengths and areas that need improvement, things they would like to improve about themselves. In this activity, you are going to explore your individual strengths and your individual areas for improvement. You will create a plan of action and time frame for your strengthening your areas of improvement. When you do this, you learn more about yourself and learn to set goals.
Absolutely. Thank you, Archie. And when we speak, try to be a little bit loud next time. Let's take a look at the illustration on the scale. It could be labeled, my strengths and areas that need improvement. Think about how you could apply it to your own life. Look at the left side of the scale, which centers on improvements. Click here to open to get a larger image. So one thing I need to do, improve, is, can anyone suggest one thing that you think you need to improve on? Anybody want to share? Yes, ma'am.
My attitude.
Your attitude. How many agree with we have to improve the attitude? Okay. What about I like to be a better what? What do you think? Person. How many of you want to be a better person? That's a positive goal too. One thing I could practice doing is, what's one thing you could practice doing? Yes, sir.
Controlling your anger.
Controlling your anger, so important. And what about something I'd like someone to help me with is, what's an example? What's an example? Archie.
Homework.
Homework, okay. So here's, on the right side, I really enjoy
My teacher.
your teacher, okay? One thing I'm good at doing is
Talking.
communication, okay? How about something I can help my family do is, how about somebody in the back? Something I can help my family do is, yes, sir.
Clean.
Clean, okay, do the chores and clean and keep the house good. How about I feel good when someone tells me I'm, yes, ma'am.
Special.
Say it again.
Great.
Great. Special, okay, they tell you that. Awesome. See if I can escape that to get out of there.
You can just X out of it.
From here?
No.
From here.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. So let's focus on one area that needs improvement, and you can choose a weakness that you see in yourself or one that others have told you about. You will be setting a goal and planning the steps that will be needed to achieve that goal. So what is one area that you can improve? Be as honest with yourself as possible. Yes, sir. Say it again.
Anger.
So, to control my anger. Okay. Good one. What obstacles will you need to overcome to achieve your goal? Yeah, if you want to control your anger, that's a goal. So how many, sometimes I need to have that kind of goal. So what can we do with the obstacles? Archie,
You can go to therapy.
say it louder, Rebecca.
Anger management.
So take an anger management. Yeah, I see. It's okay. An anger management. Okay. Do we have it yet? All right, so take an anger management class, which can help you with the self-control of yourself for that anger that you feel. List some steps that you need to make your improvement and to reach your goal. So we already know we're going to take the class. What else? Yes?
Have better self-control.
Well, how are you going to take the steps to get there? List some steps you need to take to make your improvement and to reach your goal. So taking the class, the anger management, we'll just do it this way. What else? What are the steps do you have to do? Think about that. Archie.
Tell your parents about.
So communicate your situation or your issue, whatever, to your parents or somebody who you trust, maybe a school counselor or a teacher that you know you could talk to. Yes, sir.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Learn to cope.
So that's, so learn how to cope better. So I love it. Learn how to cope better. Okay, so there's quite a few steps in that situation. So develop a plan of action. Place your steps in order. First I will, well, we could just talk about it. We don't have to write it. First I will what? You're going to take the anger management class, right? So you have to register somewhere to take that, whether it's in a school or an after-school program. Okay, what's next? What do you think you would do next?
Tell the parents that you're taking it.
I would do that first step actually. I would always communicate to my family members to let them know what I'm dealing with, and maybe they can help you. Maybe even a good friend can help you, or a teacher, as I mentioned, or a school counselor, right? Or an SRO officer, a police officer. That's why they're in schools too, to help protect, but also a behavior specialist. Archie, you're such a smart young man.
I know.
Yeah. What else? Glad you know. What other steps would you take?
Like, you have to, like, want to change.
You have to want to make that change. You have to want to improve to get to that goal that you're trying. So how many of you want to change in ways about yourself? Look at the adults in the room raising their hand too, see? Absolutely, we all do, so that's very, very important. This is a good topic to actually talk about, so that's really good. Let's move on. So set a time frame for completion of each step. This will let you know how well you are doing and what is a reasonable time for you to achieve your goal. So that's just trying to make you set a plan. This lesson is about helping you to set a plan. You have a problem, you have an issue, you need to think of what are the steps I need to do, what do I need to do? Then what are the steps that I have to take to do the first part, the second part, the third part. It's all kind of clumped together, and when it's all clumped together and not separated out, detailed out, written out for you, spoken, communicated, then it's going to all be like jumble. And you'll hear, you could be here, that's losing your focus on what you're trying to do. And what you're really trying to do is to improve yourself, right? So the situation that this young man came was because of us controlling the self-control of anger. Anger management. Is anger a good thing?
No.
Sometimes.
Thank you. Everybody thinks anger's bad. It's not.
It's good.
It's not. It's how you control your anger. It's how you deal with your anger. It's the self-control. And it's the steps that you take to reach that goal. Because you want to make yourself better. And you want to reach that specific goal so you can get there. Good job, guys. So here's reflection. Now that you have your plan worked out, you can start taking steps towards your goal. Have you had a personal experience of targeting an area and of improving? What were the results? So now it's just asking you guys as students to talk about something that maybe you thought of something, you wanted to reach that goal, to do something or be a better person, whatever. Did you do something? Did you take those steps? Did you work that plan? Yes.
I wanted a B or an A in science class, so I asked my science teacher, can she give me extra work and can I redo the test to get extra credit to bring up my grade?
And what did the teacher say?
Yes.
Okay. So here your situation is you wanted to get a higher grade. How many of you want to get higher grades? Okay. So what are some of the steps that you can do to reach that goal, to get better grades? What do you think? Ask for help. Who would you ask for help from? Teachers.
Your parents.
Parents. What about tutors?
Yeah.
Do you know that I actually had to, this is a funny quick story, this is all in relation to what this lesson is. I actually was a teacher in San Carlos Park Elementary teaching special needs as a substitute. In order for me to continue to be a full-time teacher there, I had to pass what was called the CLAST class test, and it has 4 parts, and the math part, I didn't pass. I didn't pass that math part. I had to take it 5 or 6 times.
Just like grade school.
The 7th time, actually. Before the 7th time, I got a tutor that helped me with certain parts of the math part of that class test. And getting that on the computer, because we did it back in the computer back then, and when you passed it, I stood in the parking lot. How many of you remember Rocky Balboa?
Oh, who
from
doesn't?
Rocky.
You.
No one doesn't know who
I did it, right? Well, that's what I felt because my principal at the time was Mrs. Carol Bromby, and I said, "Yo, Carol!" I called her on the phone. I did it. So now I could come back to your school and become a certified full-time teacher, and that's what I did for 5 years.
How old were you at that time?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you my children. Doesn't matter. So what matters is the fact that you have to. You should want to make improvements about yourself. Like, how many of you like yourself? Oh my God, all the hands go up. We should all put our hands up, right? Even if you like yourself, tell me one thing that you like about yourself.
My attitude.
Attitude. Love it. Okay, so give me one thing that you do not like about yourself. Can you think of any?
The way I talk to people.
The way you talk to people, okay. Is it that you talk too fast? Is it that you talk down to them? Is it sometimes
I mean, when I talk to people. I don't like.
that you don't talk to people, communicate enough? Is that what you're saying? That you don't make that connection?
When someone asks me for something, I snap into attitude.
Ah, but you just said you had a good attitude. Now you tell me you
Yeah,
haven't.
but like,
Hey, girl. Which one? So how can you improve that specific character trait, what you just described? How can you make yourself feel better? How can you do better when you talk to somebody? Help her out. What do you think? Come on. What can she do?
she can like hear the person out. It's like say.
Listen,
Yeah,
right?
listen, communication.
Are you two friends?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so this is good. So because this is real life, guys. This is reality. This is real life situations. That's what. Look at the title of what Learning for Life is. 3 words. Learning for life. Because life is very difficult in the world that we live in today. So what you brought up is so important. Because to me, more than the financial needs in families, more than materialistic things in life, to me the most important thing in life is the ability to communicate. To communicate with people. You know, because that is so important, because when you don't know how to communicate, or if you do it like with an attitude, or you don't listen to the person, then you're not really communicating with that person. With all the time now that we have all our cell phones and we're all doing this instead of whether we're at a restaurant or no matter where we are, outside the street, you know, eating dinner, everybody's, you know, they're doing this instead of just looking directly and getting to know that person that's sitting across from you. Really getting to know that person, so that's really important. So you guys did a great job today. So how many of you enjoyed this lesson? Why? What did you like about this lesson? Speak nice and loud. About learning how to control your anger, because that's very important. Do you know that you don't have to hit to hurt people? Did you know that?
No, you
Because
yeah.
I mean,
words.
Thank you, Archie. Words can hurt more. Just like we did at our dinner this Monday night, the finale, because we have a lot of the kids from students from the schools, Learning for Life schools come and entertain. We did the Greatest Showman on Earth. There was This Is Me song, which is phenomenal. If you have not listened to it, you should listen to it. You know, and it's like nothing's gonna break me down, you know, and you can't let those words keep eating at you. You have to be yourself, that everybody's special, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like. We're all
The same.
we are. Give me 5, Archie. So, anyone else want to share what you liked about this lesson? Anybody else? Yes.
it helped my friend.
It helped you to learn how to learn how to communicate better with your friend here sitting across from you. That's what, I love it. Yes.
I learned something new.
What'd you learn new?
I learned about anger and how to control it.
And self-control. Good. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else want to share? No? We're good? Archie, bring it home, Archie. Let's end this year with this last lesson that's going to go out to all the middle schools. What do you want to share?
I learned about other people's problems.
Okay.
Yeah, and whether you're gonna take steps to achieve or to
To make it better,
Yeah,
to improve.
improve those
Because that was one of the
problems.
vocabulary words. And goal, you know. We have short-term goals and we have long-term goals.
some people have problems and they can't control it.
That's
and
right.
they gotta take classes to control their problems.
That's true. That's true. And that's why so many people, you guys, you know, they wind up in places that you don't want to wind up in,
Yeah.
you know, because they can't control their anger and they haven't improved, they're not taking the steps, and even if they create a plan to help them improve, to reach that goal, they're not following those steps. They're not doing the plan,
Amen.
and they're not asking for help from people. So give me a high five, guys. Ready, go. Great lesson today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the fall. Have a great summer. Woo! Hallelujah!